Hello, and welcome to the Rekt League. We have an amazing game ahead of us today between the Air Drake versus the Murkwolves. I'm Darth
Yeah,
Ted, joined here by Dynamic Killer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, Dark Ted. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. What do you think about this game right now?
Um, so here's how I see the teams actually matching up. In the top lane with Icically versus Toxic, uh, that's Icically favored. Toxic doesn't actually have that big of a champion pool, and he also doesn't really know how to farm waves too well. I can see a massive just farm lead accruing for Icically, and then honestly, they win the game through split pushing. But I'm not sure if Murkwolves is going to allow that. In the jungle, I know Dainty can play a lot more tank styles, and Dallywitz is actually more of a you know, the style, let me style on you, Lee Sin sort of player. So I expect two different styles. I expect early game from Dallywitz, and I expect late game tank focus from Dainty Taco. Doolin versus Shadow. I'm I favor Shadow in that matchup. Uh, simply rank and everything. Bot lanes I actually favor Merc Wolves, but Cop can roam, and that's something Timbaland actually lacks. He's not much of a roaming player. He's very lane focused.
All right.
So across the boards, I actually give it to Air Drake.
I mean, that sounds good. Definitely that top lane matchup is going to be a huge one where we'll have to watch how big of a lead Isically can acquire for himself. How do you think Wolves are going to try to respond to that? How do you think they're going to try to mitigate that uh, early deficit coming out of there?
Um, Honestly, the early deficit, they there's one of two things they could do. They could try to focus a different lane and get Shadow and their bot lane ahead, or they could actually try to stem the bleeding and get Toxic a little further ahead of Icically by bet ganking him early. But again, that's the higher risk play. I don't know if they're going to go for it.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see when we get into Champ Select right now. It looks like
Ooh.
everybody is ready, and we're going to get hyped up for this matchup coming at you sometime soon.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we'll get there soon.
All right, and we got Air Drake on the blue side, and Murkwolves on the red side for game one. And right off the bat, we see an Aurelia band coming out against Shadow of Old.
That's actually not surprising because he was a top laner. Those she plays just about the same in the mid lane.
Yeah, we're absolutely flying through these bands right now.
Yeah.
Tryndamere against Isically, and a Silas coming out against Shadow of Old, and Galliwix, I assume. And a Yasuo band coming out against Isically. And then we
The
finally see a Malphite against Toxic Vezin, a champion who's been played a lot actually in the Rekt League, and somebody who's very safe in laning
it's
phase.
it's honestly an easy go button. When teams don't know how to actually team fight and they need some sort of way to just go, uh, Malphite is the easiest answer in the world. Just go. This is your top. Uh, ooh, actually,
Yeah, so we get an insta-lock Jax for Isically. Definitely one of those champions that is really, really strong right now in League of Legends. So it's just if he can farm up very safely, which he should be able to against Toxic, he's going to be
um,
a late game monster.
yeah, I also like the response Renekton from Toxic. It's one of the champions he's looked better on overall. And then the Jinx coming out for the bot lane.
Yeah. Renekton is super good, and it's a very strong lane bully champion. But my only concern is if Toxic doesn't play it correctly, then Jax is going to get an early lead, and Toxic's just going to be absolutely useless come later game.
Actually, I want to take a note of the Nocturne actually coming out of Dainty Taco. because this is going to be super good late game. If they can get past the laning phase with the Jax and get him into Jax mode, the Nocturne is just going to be super good because anytime Toxic goes to actually max him, they can just dive him and kill him. Then moving on to the Leona, that's just standard for top play. And then Braum coming out for Timbaland.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the Braum Jinx matchup or lane assignment just because it gives Jinx somebody to stand behind. It gives you a super defensive pick into it. But Cops Leona is just such a danger. Quaz is going to have to play super safe in those early levels, or else he's just going to get one shot.
Seems you left your brave pants at
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Want me
Which
to wait while you go get them?
from what I've seen of their games, it doesn't look like Quaz has been playing quite up to par lately. Um, I don't know if it's just something that he's been distracted with or hasn't been playing properly, but he's been getting hit by a lot. And if he gets hit by one of those Zenith braids, goodbye, Quaz.
Yeah. And on the weekly talk show, State of the League, Shadow of Old was actually talking about Quaz not performing up to his expectations. So hopefully this week we see a better performance out of him. But picking Jinx into Leona is just super scary, especially when there's already a Nocturne on the table.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah, but we see a lot of targeted mid lane bans
here,
and
here
jungler
it
bans.
comes. Here it comes. I knew it was coming. I said it earlier. I believe I might have said it off stream, but
Yeah, it was definitely off stream.
Dallywitz was a one trick Udyr. He trick 2G taught him how to play the game. And you thought Chimmy was bad? Well, this is Chimmy Jr.
So do you think he's going to be focusing more of a farming approach to the Udyr, just getting like level 6 really early on? Or do you think he's going to run more for a ganking type of just use bear stance to run around the map?
The last time I saw Dallywitz play Udyr, which he I think was a while ago. It still was a farming style, but he can pivot and go into more of a ganking style.
Right.
So we're not in game. We'll see what we get. Touching on the rest of the picks, I like the Lux out of Shadow of Old into Nico. It almost seems like you can kind of bully her out a little bit more with Lux just because of your range and your ult. You can clear waves a lot faster than she can. And the Jhin, I like the earlier power. I like the fact that their bot lanes like, listen, we're not taking this late. We're not taking the scaling pick. We're gonna try to kill them now for air Drake.
Yeah, and the crack variety probably would have went Lucian with that Leona if it wasn't banned out. So that was really smart from the Murkwolves getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Nope, they definitely did their work on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a little greedy from Shadow of Old though, going for that ignite. Oh, never mind. Swapped up to the barrier. Made a liar out of me.
Yep, he
Spectator
did. He
bugs.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's this is also honestly going to be a very interesting matchup. Because if they take it light, I definitely favor Murkwolves over anybody. Just because.
Sorry, I disagree with that. Just because you have this Jax honestly, who's one of their best players, he's going to be just doing nothing except farming all throughout the early game, and he's going to get super fed. If Murkwolves fails to actually create anything early, this Jax is just going to split push to victory. Like, there's no way Renekton's going to be able to deal with him. There's no way an Udyr's going to be able to deal with him. He might be able to 2v1 him at level 18, so.
Mm-hmm. No, and I was actually going to put that stipulation. I was going to say if the Jax hits super far ahead, though, I actually favor Air Drake in the late game. No questions asked.
Plus, you got this Leona Nocturne combo that as soon as they get on Jinx, she's instantly popped. And Jinx
Yeah.
isn't going to build GA till the fourth or fifth item. And Braum's not going to be able to do much against that.
Well, honestly, if she's just getting killed over and over again, there's no point in building GA.
Yeah, exactly.
What I was gonna say is, I here's what I'm predicting right now. As soon as we transition into mid game, you're gonna see Gallywix just transition into a side lane, like most Odirs do, and then just farm. He's just gonna take all the farm. It's all gonna be funneled into him. And he's just gonna try to split push the game. At least from my experience with playing with him.
Fair. But I don't think that's smart because he's definitely not going to be able to win against Jax when it comes to later in the game. So if they funnel farm into Jax and they funnel farm into Udyr, Jax is going to win that split push game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I never said it was smart. I just said it will probably happen.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with the fact that at least the Gallywix versus Dainty Taco matchup is where Murkwolves have to come out on top of. Gallywix has to show up early game. He has to put a lot of pressure down the map. Even just like keeping Dainty Taco from farming his jungle, because Udyr wins the 1v1 super hard early on. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see Gallywix trying to put out a ton of pressure if we're going to see Murkwolves take this game.
Honestly, just from the draft, now that I'm looking at it more, I don't see them taking it. I mean, Jax versus Renekton, Jax wins that later. Even like the Nocturne, Udyr and jungle matchup, as long as Nocturne doesn't die before 6, okay, you're fine. You can just wait, and then you have so much power with that ultimate that it's dumb. He doesn't even need it to use it to engage. He just needs to turn off the lights every once in a while, like if they just rush Baron.
I mean, early game, it's all gonna be about lane priority of the mid lane, because bot lane, Jhin Leona's gonna have a super easy time pressuring the Jinx Braum. Mm-hmm. Jax is gonna have a hard time going up against Renekton, but I think the skill difference is gonna favor the Jax still early game. And this mid lane, Gulen and Shadow of Old are very evenly matched in my opinion. So it's gonna be about who can hit that snare when their jungler is around to get the kills. And whoever gets the lead in the mid lane is going to be able to turn the tides of this early game and be able to just create map pressure.
You're not wrong at all. Take a note of summoner spells real quick. I mean the Lux did go for barrier, so she's trying to play more safe and back because she does. Honestly, when you take barrier into that, I just feel like you're more looking for a safe laning phase, and you're not exactly sure with your of your own ability. Are they actually going for the invade?
We're seeing a lot of pings coming out. Looks like Murkwolves is running it straight down bot lane.
Those cheeky bastards.
I love this. Not running into the river in case Air Drake gets there first. So Cop is not going to be able to see him unless he's out of the bush. He's going to get vision on him right now. Oh no, he stepped back in so he doesn't see him. They should send Braum first. Q comes out from Lux, hits him with the snare. The Braum Sons are coming down, fails the flash. And that's the first blood going over to Quaz. The man already has 400 gold on him.
Honestly, I just don't flash there. Save the flash.
Save the flash.
Like, yeah, if you're stuck in a position like that and you know you're screwed, just don't flash. Like, I know we're in game and we all sit there. We're like, I could flash, I could get out. You're not gonna get out. Just save the flash. to make the smart play.
Yeah, and that was actually a really, really clever invade coming out because they figured Air Drake was going to do something very defensive. So they just stayed out of vision as long as they could in order to get that play. But unfortunately, that means the Lux starts Q. And wait a minute. We have...
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. It's an eco mid. Oh, that completely screwed with me. I was like, wait, the crack variety's in mid lane? That's not illegal. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Got me good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nah, don't be sorry. That's my fault. I'll try to try to not fall for that for the rest of the game. Gulen, you got me good. But we do see the Nocturne starting on the bot side, trying to avoid the Udyr at all costs. Udyr already has 2 camps down. He's going for this Scuttle Crab. And Nocturne looks like he's going for an early level 1 gank against Toxic Vezin. Jax...
That actually is a very smart gank if it works out.
Yeah.
Simply because it's super eat free. He was so pushed up.
But it doesn't look like it's going to work out. Toxic Vezin actually able to save his flash. He did so much damage to Sickly before Dainty Taco showed up, having that level 2 advantage, so it's able to stave off that. But now Galliwix just sees all this pressure and goes straight in, takes the red buff. It's going for a level 3 gank onto this bot lane.
I actually don't like that recall from Dainty Taco.
Cop doesn't have flash. He's getting stunned up. Heal goes down from Crack Variety, but Cop doesn't have enough to stay alive, and a really good gank coming out from Galliwix there.
Yep, he sees the opportunity that they were overextended a little bit with Cop not having a flash, and just runs it straight down there, and they get land the Q and keep going in. There's, it seems like the early game from Air Drake it's just a little off now that that first blood came out, and they weren't expecting it.
Yeah, and it's just a snowball of events, right? Like, they got the flash out from the Leona, so they're able to set up that kill. But Toxic Vezin also was able to avoid the gank, so Dainty Taco just fell a little bit behind the Galliwix, and Galliwix just was able to go straight in. So it was super smart play coming out from Murkwolves. It's definitely what you want to see if you don't like Air Drake.
I actually don't think that he's a little ahead. I think he's going to be really far ahead. If you look at the map, like the map pressure he can put out, he can go get the topside scuttle, and then he has his Raptors and his Trugs up. He can also go and contest the Dainty Taco in his own jungle if he really so chose.
All right, we're gonna see a little bit of. Nope, never mind. Dainty Taco's not gonna try to fight Galliwix, which is probably a smart call right now.
Yeah. If you look at the CS, it's actually 16 to 28 in the jungle matchup, and he still has 2 camps to pick up. That's hard yikes from me.
Yeah, and we do see the first Drake is actually an Infernal Drake spawning soon. So Galliwix, with all this level advantage and pressure, is probably going to try to go for that pretty early on.
I did see him back and then run straight there. He might even do it after this camp. Oh, he's actually going for.
He was spotted on the ward, I
mid.
believe. So Gulen should know he's there. The Q misses from Shadow of Old. Snare comes out from Gulen.
All right.
Yeah, he's able to walk away.
Nothing came of it in the end.
But top lane, we have a huge fight going on. Sickly going hard onto Toxic, pushing him out of lane. A lot of damage coming out from this Jax.
Yeah,
and
it just took him a couple levels to get up to where Jax needed to be able to fight the Renekton.
And this is what we were talking about, though. The skill discrepancy between Sickly and Toxic Vezin is definitely showing. I mean, Renekton in no way should be down to a Jax in a farm right now, in an even matchup, that is. And Sickly is just going to be able to freeze this wave really easily with all the minions from the red side pushing into him.
Yeah, there's the skill discrepancy, as you said, is just massive. like the early levels is just Renekton favored, but as soon as you get all your skills, not including your ult, you can just bully him. It when you're the Jax because of the skill discrepancy.
Yeah. But I really want to see Gallywix try to force another play on the bot side.
Mid lane though.
Looks like Shadow Volt's just gonna die. A good barrier and flash coming out. Gulen not able to secure that kill. Already used the ignite, so I'm sorry I missed how that actually started, but
It was Shadow Volt actually just moved up a little bit too far. Got caught by a snare, and then Gulen just ulted him and just went and burned ignite. Just went full for the full combo.
and it sickly hits 6 and goes straight in onto Toxic Vezin, who is not having a good time in this lane. And that's why I honestly wanted Toxic Vezin on something other than a tank. Or, sorry, other than Renekton. Just some tanky champion that he could survive lane with. It's not about winning. It's not about creating pressure. Your pressure's all on the bot side of the map. It's about not letting a sickly get so far ahead. A good stun coming out under the turret. Toxic hits 6, though. Has flash up, goes in. Sickly has Counter-Strike up, is able to get away from that. So close for the counter kill.
Yeah. It may be one of Toxic's better champions, but honestly, I agree exactly what she said. Just put him on, like, Maokai or anything of that nature. Even give him, Orin, and maybe not Orin. That might be a little, too dependent on the hitting the ult in the right timing.
Alright, we're fighting the bot lane. Yeah, Cop getting stunned up from the Braum passive on the traps, though. Jinx has 6. Another auto attack, too. Heal comes out, save his life. Udyr is there, Nocturne as well, so we do have a 3v3, but it looks like everyone's just gonna back out.
Yeah.
Burning the heal from the bot lane is really good, though. Murkwolves, from that first blood, have been able to put a lot of pressure down here. And you think that Jhin and Leona have a lot of kill pressure, but Quaz and Timberland have been playing this lane super well. And with that... Oh, never mind. Gallywix is not going for the dragon. Definitely should try to make a play for that Infernal Drake early on, though.
Honestly, I think it's a mistake from him not to have gone for it already.
Yeah.
When his bot lane was coming like that, he should have just backed out and just went for the Inferno right then, and not actually came down.
Yeah, and you see the vision from this Murkwolves on the bot side river. They know that there's nothing there from the Air Drake squad, so it would be free if Gallywix wanted to go for it.
Yeah, but yeah, I still think it's a huge mistake. He's just going for his camps and doing Udyr things when he could be doing an even more massive. What the?
I don't know what that noise was. Gulen just solo kills Shadow Volt in the mid lane. Doesn't have his flash up and is getting chased by Udyr. Udyr flash stuns but misses. And now we have Nocturne ult coming in. Gulen ends up going down, but Gallywix getting taken down by Dainty Taco as well. And actually, the Ignite kills him. And in the top lane, we have a solo kill from Miss Sickly, taking down Toxic Vezin.
It's kills all over the map for Air Drake, except for bot lane.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Toxic needs to play super safe into his Sickly. He's just gonna keep getting killed over and over if he doesn't.
If you take
stand back.
If you take a look at his items, though, he already built the Tiamat, and he's like that's just gonna auto push the wave, and it's just gonna keep giving Icically options to go in on him because he can't not push the wave now.
Yeah. And this Jax is already 40 CS above Renekton. Something you don't want to see if you want Murkwolves to win this game. But if you're a Murkwolves fan, you always do have that late game scaling of a Jinx. So hopefully Quaz is going to be able to play safe enough and not insta-die to this Leona Nocturne combo.
I honestly just don't see it, though. Like,
Shadow of Old in a bad spot. Dainty Taco's over the wall. Gulen's going in with the ult. Gets the snare down. But we have 3 members from Murkwolves. Good ult from Timberland. Nice snare. And that destroys Gulen. Teleport comes in from his sickly. Gets the counter-strike off onto Timberland. But now Dainty Taco is in traps. And he just goes down as well. Double kill down onto Gallywix. And this Ooter is 4-1 already.
This is the caster curse right here. As soon as I say I don't see it happening, the Murkwolves come out of nowhere and just pull off a fight in the mid lane.
Yeah, and they get an Infernal Strike off of this, which is really good. Toxic probably shouldn't be down here just because the play was already over. Probably should have just went back up top, but just there to secure it. And that gives a nice little 8% damage increase to Murkwolves.
Yeah, that was also just mispositioning from Gulen, and then the teleport after.
Oh, this is good. Gallywix going in a bot lane? Oh, no, never mind.
I don't think there was anybody to go in on.
Right on Dainty Taco, maybe?
Maybe.
Nice
maybe.
pink word spots him out, though. Sorry, what were you saying?
I think that was I think that was mispositioning from Gulen, and then it feels so bad that you can't cancel the teleport when he was TPing into mid lane from Icically. There's just that makes you wish you could cancel that again. Yeah. So much.
I mean, Gulen was stepping up to bait Shadow of Old into a fight just because Dainty Taco was over the wall with his flash up. So they were trying to get an easy 2v1. But Gallywix and Timberland both roamed up at the same time, which turned the tides of the fight. So super good communication coming out from Murkwolves in order to see that play and make it. And they got an objective off it. But Cop going in, ults, doesn't get onto Quaz though. Nocturne ults onto him, flashes out of it. Braum Shield is in the wrong position, gets stunned up. Traps are good though, is able to give him the last tick of Ignite, takes down the Braum. And Jinx is returning a little bit of damage, but not enough.
Ooh, mid lane. Ooh.
Turret plating will fall.
Gulen actually just like solo killed Shadow of Old so easily.
Yeah, it looks like Shadow of Old had his... oh, never mind. Top lane, Toxic Pheasant going in. Sickly just trying to get that Leap Strike back. Gets the auto attack, kills him under his turret. And Toxic Pheasant still not having a good time in this lane. It's just unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate because this is half their win condition. Jax becoming Jax, and Toxic's just like, I know you want to become Jax, so here, let me help you faster.
I don't think that's on the game plan for Murkwolves, but who knows? Yeah, I just love how fast in Champ Select the Jax was locked in. Like, oh, they didn't ban it? Take it now. Take it. Because they knew that the matchup was just going to go so heavily in their favor. A little bit of a trade in bot lane. Cop going in on Timberland, but the Braum Shield preventing so much of that damage coming through.
Gallywix is actually doing the Rift Herald.
Yeah, soloing that out. We do see a roam down from Gulen, but he's spotted by 2 of these pink wards. A nice stun coming out from Cobb, gets both of them. Jinx doesn't have flash from the last play. A nice snare coming out. Gulen flash takes that kill, and Timberland's able to get out though. But in the mid lane, after Gallywix takes the Rift Herald, he just summons it, and it goes in, does so much damage to that turret. And Dainty Taco's gonna have to be careful.
Yeah, I get.
Cop and Gulen roaming up, but Shadow of Old and Gallywix are already out of there.
Top lane, there's a little bit of a trade going on. I think he's just actually after the tower, though. But Gallywix is on his way up.
Yeah, and the Sickly has no idea this is coming. But Flash Stun comes out. Sickly does have Counter-Strike, gets both of them in that stun, and is able to get out of there with his life.
That just feels bad. As a jungler, you're like, I'm gonna go in and at least burn his flash, and then you both get stunned, and it's like, okay, we can't do anything more now, and I burned my flash for nothing. Oof.
Ultimate coming out. Dainty Taco going on to this Jinx, who doesn't have any summoner spells up. And he's just going to get deleted. A little bit too far forward there, not having that turret for protection.
And
Good
a little bit of
ultimate.
mispositioning from Jallywicks there.
Oh, I even missed that too.
Yeah.
Oh, more kills
top
coming down? Oh no! All
This
over
is
the map. Air
turning
Drake.
into a right cloud fiesta.
Air Drake just destroying this game after that first tower went down. Basically 4-0-0 has a 40 CS lead on this Renekton. It's just going to be unstoppable.
Yeah,
Oh no, not in the mid lane. Ultimate come down from Cop, gets
oh.
both of them, but doesn't have any mana to follow up.
honestly, I think that was a little overzealous. They got kills all over the map, and then Chop's like, I can get kills too, let's do it.
I mean, Leona is a zealot, right? So
Yeah.
Gotta go for that.
You're not wrong. And I want to point out, as I said earlier, if you look down to bot lane, what's that little Udyr doing?
I believe he's creating pressure by pushing up the bot lane wave to try to secure a Mountain Drake. But he's going to run into 3 members.
Yep. Don't even think that was to secure. I just think it's Udyr things.
Yeah, it's Udyr things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Udyr has 4 kills as well, but he's still not going to be able to fight this Jax, who already has his Triforce completed.
No, honestly, I would have liked... I want to see him after he goes Triforce to just go tank. I don't even know if I want him to go Triforce at this point. I just want him to run at somebody and bear slap them just to give more time for the Jinx to become Jinx. If Jinx can become Jinx and he can frontline for her, then I think they can... They might be able to just pull out Jinx things.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, Jhin doesn't have a lot of DPS in the late game to be able to get through a lot of the bear shields just because his attack speed is so slow with those 4 shots. So maybe if there's a 5v5 fight, Jinx will have a lot more pressure. But I'm just scared of the fact that you have a Jax, a Leona, Nocturne who's going to completely avoid your front line and just dive straight onto your back line. So what do you even do when they just don't care about the Udyr? They just run right by him, right? But we see a Sickly getting engaged on by 3 members of Murkwolves, and the traps are out. He's able to jump out of it. Exhaust is down on him. Braum passive not stocking up. He's able to jump out thanks to Dainty Taco being a good guy.
That's... Again, just being a good jungler and shadowing, as Nocturne shadowing your split pusher, always so super easy and super free. Especially if you're pushing up the mid lane at the same time. It's like, which lane do I want to ult to? I can ult to this, I can ult to this. If this lane needs help, I can do this.
Alright, so we're going to see a really, really interesting setup right now, putting our hypotheses to the test. We have a 4v4 in the mid lane. Oh, Toxic Vesm is getting engaged upon it. He was in no man's land, way too far forward, and he gets picked off. Good Zonia's coming out from Coolin to stop all the damage from coming through. But Cop says time to go in. Gets the ultimate off, is going in. Braum is getting damaged. Jhin ult's coming out. 4-shot does a lot of damage to Quaz, but he's able to walk away. Now we have Udyr on the back line, but his team is so low.
There's nothing Udyr can do here. And Timbaland might just be dead.
Looks like he's still alive for now, but good news for Murkwolves. They have a lot of wave clear with this Jinx Lux. So it's going to be a hard time for Air Drake to push up to these turrets. But on the bad side, Sickly is just a monster in this bot lane. And nobody can face him.
They don't need to do anything. They just need to keep applying pressure and letting basically just do his thing. There's no way Udyr can fight him at this stage in the game.
Yeah, and he looks like he's trying to. Sickly, though, having the better of this fight already. Goes in, doesn't have enough damage for the last auto attack, and Gallywix is still stepping up. It looks like they're sending Toxic Vesm back down here, but Sickly can probably 2v1 this, and that might give the go-ahead signal to dive in this mid lane. Lux is getting super low on mana, can't wave clear that much longer. But oh, just misses the snare.
That was actually really close.
Yeah,
I would say like one team out.
that would have been that would have been really big if she hit that, because it would have been dead Dainty Taco and would have allowed them to relieve a lot of pressure.
I just feel bad for this Redacted at this point.
Oh, good ult coming out. Lux getting the snare. Engaged from Timberland. Ult goes down onto Cop. Braum passive stacking up onto him. Gets a good snare out, though. Is able to stun up the backline. And he goes back into Sickly's here. Going in onto Quaz. Quaz lives with like 50 health. Is able to kill the Jax. Renekton picks up that one. And Toxic Vestin is still going in. Renekton ults down. And he probably won't be able to catch up to him.
I actually don't like that call from Icically at all. If you're split pushing, your team's just going for that and going for that fight, and you see that it's not going too well, just go back, get the turret, and then just leave. Get some damage down on the turret and just leave.
Renekton going in a little bit too hard here. A lot of damage coming out. Good Lux ult. Braum passive is able to step in front of Toxic, keep him alive. And meanwhile, while that huge fight was happening, Udyr was just in the top lane splitting, and he actually took that turret. So it was actually a really smart rotation from him. And he is, once again, getting super fed. Has the 60 CS lead over over Dainty Taco. And Air Drake right now is going on. Quaz a little bit too far forward. Is Sickly just jumping in with a Counter-Strike, but he doesn't have any defensive utilities after that. And Air Drake's just a little bit too slow on this rotation. Gulen with the steal! Holy crap, that was crazy. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gulen killed Renekton, who looks exactly like a dragon. Gallywix ended up taking the smite.
It's okay, I may or may not have thought the same thing. So.
I was like, holy shit, he got it! But it wasn't true. Toxic Pheasant just has another death on his resume, I guess.
Yep.
Alright, sorry, I got a little too hyped up there. But Air Drake, with that pressure and with Murkwolves being super low, just shove into this bot lane. And I'm looking for this turret. But doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it because the minions are dead. Udyr, on the other hand, is going top lane. Yeah, they should just back out. Timberland needs to get out of here. Because you see Toxic Pheasant in the mid lane. You see Udyr in the top lane. And good ultimate from Quaz is able to pick up the Nico. So much damage coming out from those rockets, and never mind about backing off. They absolutely destroyed him right there.
Yeah, shot calling from Air Drake is becoming a little too hypey. They're not taking the steps to actually make sure they can win the fights. They're just, oh, we're stronger, we should fight now. Not how does this comp work, where should we go, what should we be doing, and how we should be playing it.
Yeah, and you actually see the gold lead. 2,000 of... They have a gold lead of 2,000 right now. And all of it is on the Jax. So when they're sieging up 4v4 without the Jax there, and it looks like Gallywix is trying to go for Sickly, but Sickly gets that health through and is able to stay alive.
You're taking the honeycomb for it.
Yeah.
Stay nice and safe.
Oh, good ult coming down. Cop amazingly steps onto the traps to make the tower aggro onto the Jinx. But this Jinx has so much sustain from Timberland. He's able to stay alive through all of that. Nocturne ends up going in dying. And this turret is super low. Jinx is going to get excited off this, and I want to see a pop-off. Oh, good Nico damage coming out. Braum shield is out. But a lot of damage being traded back and forth. Jin Root coming down onto the Braum. Timberland is super low right now, and they have to back off of this.
In top lane, though.
Can he run away? Is the Udyr fast enough? Oh, in the bot lane, we have a Lux Cube coming down. Is able to kill out the Leona, and the Jin is dead as well. So now that just gives him a free turret. The Nico is super strong, but doesn't have enough to clear out all the waves. It looks like Renekton's going straight onto him. Gets the snare up. Good Jinx W coming out, but Quaz doesn't have enough mana. The Zonies is out though. Lux E is not enough to able to kill her, but Jinx auto attacks too. And now Dainty Taco is also called out by Lux Q and it goes down. And that just gives a free inhibitor over to Murkwolves. And this game just completely turned around on its head.
Yeah, after Air started trying to group with the Jax, it all fell apart. As soon as you start grouping with your Jax and he's not 18, not doing Jax things, anytime it's Jax, unless it's Jungle Jax, you should not be grouping with him. Period.
And I feel like Air Drake understood that they couldn't just pressure turrets because it's so hard to siege into a Lux Jink when they have a Braum on the front line to block for him. So all the poke damage gets sucked up by that Braum shield. And then Lux E's, Lux Q's, Jinx W's just get thrown out and damage you. So Murkwolves were able to put enough poke down to be able to turn the fight. And even though Air Drake thought they were ahead, they really weren't just because Jax wasn't with them.
Yep. You're so right. Honestly, I don't like having Dolan in the bot lane either. He doesn't have TP, and this just gives them free reign to just start the Baron. They should be starting the Baron right now.
I think they need to push up for more vision priority. They need to get top lane pushing before they go for it, and they need to get mid lane pushing. But they can try to get a pick right here. Gulen narrowly dodging that Lux Q. But we do have an Infernal Drake spawning right now in about 15 seconds, and it looks like Murkwolves is going to be going for that objective. I mean,
Infernal of the game.
Isically just backed, is going to answer these super minions shoving down. Oh, good ult coming out. This Nico is super low. Has a good Zonias, but is still just going to die. Lux picks up that kill. Shadow of Old saying, you might have laning phase, but I have the game, baby. And now Leona's in a really bad spot. Goes down to Gallywix, and that is 2 dead on the side of Air Drake. And Gallywix is leading the charge towards Infernal.
They're just going to go straight to Baron.
Oh, yeah, Baron. Sorry. My bad.
And that Baron's going to drop super quick.
Yeah, it's already dead. I mean, Murkwolves have Mountain Drake on top of all the damage.
Unless tracked right. Nope. No sneaky W.
Yeah. It does look like Air Drake got the Infernal Dragon, though, so that is a consolation prize. But now you have to have Jax answering those super minions or be with the team, because the 5v5 of this Murkwolves squad is going to be super strong with these super minions. And honestly, Dainty Taco just doesn't have enough damage. He went second item Guardian Angel, so he can't pop the Jinx even if Leona does stun him up. But we see Gallywix getting snared up, and now Braum getting snared up. Good snare coming out. A lot of snares going around. Ultimate from Shadow of Old, trying to clear out some minion, doing some poke damage. But honestly, all they have to do is just wait for this super minion wave in the bot lane to shove in, and then they can pressure this mid lane turret and get it down.
They don't even need to do that. They just need to walk up the minions with the cannon minion and just let it do its work. That's all they need to do, and just let it keep sieging that turret.
Yeah, they have to be careful here. Sickly's looking for an engage. Gets a 4-man stun down. Nocturnal comes out, and that wombo is insane! The whole team was CC. They couldn't do anything. And that whole time, Shadow of Old greedily went to get the blue buff. And holy crap, play of the game right there from Mr. Sickly himself. Holy crap, that was amazing.
I'm speechless. That was nuts. That was crazy. They all stepped up too far, and then they grouped up, and he got a 4-man stun. That should never happen.
Yeah, the flash leap strike counter strike just absolutely destroyed, and then you got the Leona ultimate on top of it, keeping everybody held in place, and that relieves so much pressure from what Murkwolves was doing. Definitely stops the snowball.
That just puts them back in this game. And that relieves all pressure they had whatsoever. The game's just about even again. It's like a 1K gold lead for Murkwolves, but that's nothing.
Yeah, but good news, they still have one Baron buff. But the inhibitor from Air Drake is going to be respawning in about 15 seconds. So they'll lose that super minion advantage they had. And it looks like Murkwolves are probably just going to try to play a little more defensively, set up vision, and go for this next Baron. We're going to get the classic EU scramble for vision.
Yeah, pretty much. Trying to get some more vision down, but honestly, they're not backing to reset and get their paint wards. Honestly, they should be backing. Murkwolves should be backing at this point just to get the reset and get their paint wards just to get back on the map faster.
Honestly, Murkwolves shouldn't even be this far up if you don't have Udyr putting any pressure down.
No, they shouldn't.
Because you just lost 4v4 before. And Isikli is going for a TP in behind him. Let's watch this one. Jin ult come down. Isikli in the backline is getting onto Quaz. Nocturne ult comes down. And the Jinx is deleted by Dainty Taco. And this fight is just losing. Gallywix isn't even here. Lux is trying to do what she can. Timberlane going low. Toxic going low. Good. He's going to get feared up and killed. But Shadow of Old is able to put a little bit of damage down on Gulen and Crack Variety, but not enough. And it looks like Air Drake is just taking completely advantage of this split push comp with Gallywix not there.
And Gallywix is doing the classic Udyr strat of trying to get the inhib. He looks like he's going to get the inhib, but
yeah. Gulen is there. He flashes out of the snare and is going in. Ignite down on him, but Isikli is there as well, and Gallywix does not have enough speed and is gone away. But that just means Shadow of Old is unafraid of 1v3ing and gets the kill onto Dainty Taco. And it looks like his ult's up in about 10 seconds. He's trying to fish for this kill on Crack Variety, but he ends up backing out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
Yeah, so
yeah. He had a clutch flash in that play to be able to stay alive for a while. But
honestly, he probably should have just given up because, I mean, at that point he didn't know that Jax had backed as well, and he thought he could do the 1v1 outplay, which he probably could have. But, I mean, having the flash shot on Udyr is pretty much your only way of engaging onto things, so...
No, you're right, but as I said before, Gallywix tends to be a very hypey player.
Yeah. But in this game, I think Isikli has been the hypest so far.
Oh no, you're not wrong. That 4-man Counter Strike was insane.
Bonkers. But we do have Baron spawning in 20 seconds right now, and Murkwolves is trying to set up vision around this area and clears out all the vision that Air Drake has. And they do have the super minions thanks to Gallywix's split pushing. So we're gonna probably see him go for this. And Isikli doesn't have teleport up. They should know that from the flank he had. So I want to see Murkwolves just go for this right now and burn it. But it looks like the call isn't there.
Yeah, they should be just going for this right now. There's no reason not to. It looks like they're turning back for it now, but this is honestly too late. Yeah,
They have the supers, though, and they have a Lux to catch out. A lot of damage coming down. Dainty Taco getting killed by Quaz's ultimate. And with the jungler dead, they say, all right, fuck it, let's do it now. And it looks like Air Drake is just giving it. They're not even going to try to go for the fight. And that's the second Baron.
That was questionable. Hard questionable positioning by Dainty Taco. He should have just swept it out and let the rest of the ranged characters just... the ranged champions just take care of the ward, not move up that far, and that might honestly cost them a game unless it's another Isikli clutch flank or something.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the power of having a Lux in this composition, right? Like one snare causes the death of the champion. Doesn't matter who you snare, they're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that vision control they had, they were able to just wait until that came through. But we see Isically going in. Only gets a stun up onto Braum, though. A nice cop ultimate coming out. Quaz is still has so much shields on him. He's able to do so much damage, but Renekton ends up going down. And now we have a 4v5, but we do have super minions shoving into this bot lane. And it looks like
they need to back off and deal with the super minions right now. And that's going to give free range for Murkwolves just to push up in this matchup.
Ooh, are they going for the turret? Jinx has enough range to step up and try to get it. They know that the Leon ult is down for another like 30 seconds. And the turret ends up going down, which opens up another inhibitor for Gallywix to try to shove down.
And shove down, he will try. It may not be now, but soon he will try.
But even with Toxic Pheasant dead, they're still trying to push in for this. He has the teleport up. Cop Flash goes in, but misses the Zenith Blade and just dies. Dainty Taco ults onto the Lux, but that's not the target you want. Jinx is clearly the stronger member right now, and he's just going to die as well, and that's probably going to be game. Toxic Pheasant teleports into the bot lane, has these super minions, is just on the Nexus turrets right now. And Jax goes in, gets a 2-man stun up, but what can he do against 4? Not a lot. He's going down. Good ultimate from Gulen gets a lot of damage down. Quaz is super low, but ends up getting the shutdown onto the Jax. And Toxic Pheasant this entire time is still shoving. Good W out from Quaz, getting the slow onto Gulen, but he just gets destroyed by Lux.
Yeah.
And now Croc Variety can't do anything. And what a game we had! Murkwolves coming out on top of Air Drake right there, getting the 1-0.
That was insane.
Absolutely insane.
There's points where I thought Air was gonna completely take control and take over that game, but Murkwolves with the outplays and the 200 IQs just had some smooth brains on the side of Air Drake, I must say. Some mispositioning, and there was not much they could do in that situation.
Yeah, definitely not. That was just absolutely insane gameplay coming out from both sides. There were some really, really good calls, and then some not so good calls from Air Drake, which ended up leading to the Murkwolves victory. But we're going to send it over to a short 5-minute break, and then we'll come back with game 2 between Air versus Wolves. And welcome back, Rekt League. We had a super bloodbath of a game one for Air Drake versus Murkwolves, and it went so far back and forth. My mind's still reeling from it. I don't know what to make of it. Help me out here, Dynamic.
Honestly, what I make is Air Drake messed up. Um, it feels like they don't know how to, or somewhere in their comms they weren't properly maintaining uh, a yo-yo with their split push, and it gave opportunities for Murkwolves to come back in that game. Murkwolves had no business coming back in that game, honestly, and it seemed like with their split push Udyr, for Murkwolves, they knew how to play it better, and they knew what they should be doing and how they should be playing it.
Yeah,
And I think that's what it came down to at the end of the day.
and it definitely did feel a little bit disrespectful of the 4v4 that was happening in mid lane. Air Drake would step up to the turret with like 2 caster minions left in the wave and try to do damage on it, and then Lux would just be able to get a Q out, snare somebody up, and get a pick. So,
And I must say, from I have some criticism towards Dainty Taco. There was multiple times where you'd go up to clear a ward, and you're a squishy Nocturne. You're not a big tank. You can't deal with a lustful combo. But he would go up, try to clear a lord, and then just wouldn't be able to spell shield the bind, and just get full combo to die.
yeah, so what do you think you want to see out of this Air Drake lineup the next time around? Because we saw the Jax was their, honestly, stunning highlight. That 4-man stun up, getting that team fight win was absolutely, I mean, play play of the week right there. There's no question about it. That's going to be top. But what do you want to see from them?
What I want to see is, I don't think the comp was bad, but I want them to change up their bans a little bit. Ban out the Udyr, because they can't deal with it. It's either they don't know how to play against split push, or they don't know how to split push properly, and or they need to play a simpler comp that's not split push. Because they can't. It just doesn't seem like they know how to actually properly play it back and forth. I had no issue with the picks or anything like that. It seems like somewhere in their communication they're not playing it out properly, and that's where I take massive issue.
Yeah. Well, with that aside, we're probably just going to send it over into game 2 right now. Right off the bat, I'm definitely expecting a Jax ban from the side of Murkwolves, because basically just looked like a monster on that champion.
Yeah, I could see it, or I could see them leaving it open just to just because they weren't playing it properly. Honestly, if I was Merkwolves, I would leave it open. And I would just put Toxic on a tankier style.
Yeah, we do see he plays. I mean, he used to play a good amount of Shen, so maybe that's something that can deal with the Jax more effectively, just because you do have that auto attack negate.
I would just put him on. I'd put him on Scion if I was him.
I don't know
Whoever
if he plays
they're-
Scion.
Don't care. You're on Scion duty. Let's go.
But right out of the gate, we see an Ezreal ban coming out against the Crack variety, not giving him that super safe lane to play. And an Aurelia ban coming out against Shadowfold. Gulen wanting none of that champion. We see Yasuo ban against Isikli. Again, just wanting nothing of that. And the Tryndamere also against Isikli.
Am I wrong, or are these the same bands?
They're the
This seems
same
like
exact bans.
This seems like deja vu.
Yeah,
I don't-
just opposite order of who bans first. And the last ban, do you think we're getting the Udyr? No, the Jinx.
The worst that could happen.
I like the pivot. I do like the pivot.
And that gives Quaz less of a hyper scaling champ to play.
This actually might be Poppy Jungle.
I'm I think it's like 100% Poppy jungle. I don't
Yep.
think Timberland's picked it up in the support pool at all.
And I don't think Toxic will play it, but I know Dallywitch plays some Poppy jungle, and we see Lucian and Leona. It's just their standard bot lane when they can get it. From what I've seen, that's what they like to play. And Yorick,
Oh, wow. We see a Yorick and a Braum picked up. So Toxic Vezin pulling out a Yorick, which is, as we know, super bad into Jax, who is still up on the table right now. It could be a Galliwix Yorick and a Poppy top lane, so we don't know for sure. And Poppy does have a
I
good amount of defensive tools against the Jax if they want to go that way.
like the Nico. See, normally I would say that's insane, but I know Dallywix, and I know his champion pull, and I know this is something he would pull out.
I mean, Yorick Jungle's been played in a lot of pro leagues recently, at least in this past week. So, would that change to how?
Not a problem.
Thank you, Ziggy's, for hosting, even though it's not right now. uh, sorry, even though with the changes to Yorick's ultimate, how he can actually bring it around with you in the jungle, it made him better in there. So we'll have to see if that actually is a Poppy top or what's going on.
Yeah, I'm actually not quite familiar with your jungle. I've been out of I haven't been keeping up on the world meta quite as much this year, except for Griffin. That's the only thing I follow. But going back to the game, we see some Misfortune Lux ban on the red side, and then we see the Nocturne taken away and Sejuani for Murkwolves.
Yeah, and those bans are most likely forcing Dainty Taco onto the Zac pick, which is another one of those tanky champions that he just likes to sit back on. We've also seen him play a little bit of Jarvan, so that might be the pickup here. We'll have to see.
Maybe.
Yep,
It is the Zac pick.
And now we
Well,
have
as you
to
said-
see an 80 carry from Quaz coming out, and his basically comfort picks of Jinx and Misfortune are gone, but it looks like he's going for the Varus, which is honestly very good with Braum because you have a lot of layering CC that you can do, but again is super weak into Leona since you are immobile. Oh, what?
What?
We
This
got-
might be a shadow. This might be a shadow of old Swain, and it might just be pivoting to wait to see something else. They might not want to do the Varus quite yet.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Like, oh, Timberland probably didn't have Swain. That's probably what happened. So Quaz swapped over to picking it. That makes sense.
No, he has every champion.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, and the Jax is coming through. So I'm really interested where this Poppy York goes. So I want to see what happens. Is
Oh,
it the
no,
York talk?
don't do York top into
Oh,
Jax.
no.
Please don't.
No,
You're gonna get wrecked.
no.
Why didn't they put him on Malphite?
Oh, this is not so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even after he gave over some kills early game, his Renekton was still somewhat impactful because he went straight tank. But Yorick isn't a champ you can do that on. You have to build
Yeah.
Triforce. You have to build Sterix. You have to try to win the split push. But
And
you're not gonna.
York is not a champion you should be playing if you're one of the lower tier top laners in the league, you should not be playing York. Just I know it's hype. I know it can look really cool when it's played well. Just don't do it. It's going to be bad. Especially into a Jax. Oof. This is going to be a rough matchup for Toxic in the top lane. And honestly, Gallywitch is probably going to go Warrior, Triforce, Poppy, and look to kill people. I can almost guarantee it. So
They're
she's going to have...
Gonna have a Roman gang squad with Sivir ultimate coming through and the Poppy.
I do like the fact that they did pivot, and when Shadow said he wanted to play Swain or whatever, and they took the Sivir, so they have wave clear. In case they get into a situation that they're under turrets, they can wave clear pretty easily. But because otherwise their comp would have been lacking severely in the wave clear department. On the other side, the Nico again for Doolin. I did like the Nico. It just later game he kept getting caught by the snares, and we'll see if the same thing happens with the Swain here throwing out the never moves. And it seems like standard air Drake bot lane.
Yeah, it actually got from Shadow Volt himself after the first game that he didn't really know how to play lane against Nico, not being very familiar of how that champ plays. So that's why we saw a lot of those isolated deaths. Golan was able to get over him. But hopefully he learned and is able to come out on top of this matchup if you're a fan of Murkwolves.
Mm-hmm. There's also... It's also the fact that... well, here's the thing. He may know how to play it as Lux, but he doesn't know how to play it as Swain. And Swain's a little bit tankier, so he shouldn't have the isolated deaths or anything like that. But Nico still could surprise him and just kill him out of nowhere just because he doesn't... If you haven't gone over the matchups so many times, then it's just it can end roughly sometimes.
Yeah, but we'll have to see who ends up coming out top on this game. I actually think my money's still on Air Drake, even though I was wrong last game, just because that Jax is going to have an even better advantage in this lane.
I want to say Air Drake. Based on team comps, I'm going to say Air Drake. But with the stipulation, they need to clean up their shot calling. That is the biggest thing.
And there you have it. Hopefully Air Drake will be able to pull something out. I mean, we did see Murkwolves right off the start get a very easy kill onto Cop, blowing his flash. And that gave a lot of pressure to this bot lane.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think the cheeky kill is going to come out this time again.
Probably not.
If it does, you can call me a liar.
I would never do that. You're too nice of a guy.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
All right, but we actually see the electrocute Poppy. I was expecting a was it the one that they run at you, the Predator?
Nope. He goes full balls to the wall, where I'm gonna kill you, Poppy. And Predator is definitely the better choice in the jungle if you're going for Poppy, but this is a personal style preference for Galliwax. Any other teams out there, you might want to watch this guy in the jungle because he'll play non-standard champions and then make them want to kill you.
All right, and we see another early evade coming out from Murkwolves, just staying out of the vision, doing what they do, getting into this mid lane bush. And the Nico does not see him. Swain has that grasp out. Braum Passive going down, gets the hook, and Braum Passive is out. First blood going to Swain. And just like you said, or just proving you wrong, I guess, he didn't expect the cheeky invade once again. And not respecting it, Gulen just dies. Luckily, it doesn't burn his flash, though.
Yeah, he did it. There's a little smack talk coming out in chat. But yeah, that's questionable to me. It like they just sat there and were like, "Hey, we're gonna let you kill me again," and I don't know.
Yeah, but we do see this little cheeky invade. Crack Riding and Cop sitting in this tri-bush, knowing that there's no vision from Quaz and Timberland. So we'll have to see if they respect this.
It doesn't look like they're respecting us, and this is gonna actually...
Quaz is stepping up. Gallywix might be here to respond, though. The stun comes down, but there's so much damage down onto Cop. They didn't end up going onto the Sivir, so Timberland just tanks up all the damage. And now Crack Variety's in a bad spot, but is able to dodge away from the Braum Q. So, wow, really, really unfortunate call coming out from Airdrake right there. Not playing that trade properly.
Honestly, I just think it put them on mental tilt. I think they were looking to get a little further ahead and get something back, but they're just not playing the way they should.
Yeah, and once again, it starts them down on summoner spells. But in the top lane, we see Sickly just going straight on Toxic Pheasant, and he's got nothing.
No
in
way.
this.
No.
Sickly is still full health, and the Conquer Rune puts up a good amount of damage. Sickly level 3 already. It's just last game was bad for Toxic. This game is going to be so much worse.
Good trade in the mid lane though from Shadow Volt on the Dueling. Gets his full combo off on him. Even the eyeball coming out.
Grasping the Undying Lens again. Good trade. Gulen super low, has already chugged all those potions. So Shadow Volt doesn't have the Ignite though, so he can't actually go for an all-in trade if he wants to.
Let's see how the jungle matchup's going.
It seems pretty even right now. Gallywix left up a lot of his bot side jungle and just went straight for getting the double Scuttle Crabs.
Which is surprising to me because if he was going to go for that, I wouldn't have gone Hunter's Talisman first. I would have just gone the machete. Yeah. It might help him later out, but honestly, I don't think going Hunter's Talisman first is good on Poppy anyways.
Yeah, and he's going for an invade, but Dainty Taco already cleared out all of the camps on that side, so he's actually going to do a good job of avoiding this Poppy, which will help out Zach in the jungle.
They also should have known that he's a topside because he hit the Strider's Boom, but it doesn't look like anybody pinged it out and or said anything. Maybe in voice chat they said something. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, and Sickly trying to just freeze this wave. Toxic is trying to push it in, but I don't know if that's what you want to do against the Jax, because Sickly is just going to get a massive freeze right here and just hold the minions away from the turret.
And this is just going to put him even further down in this matchup.
Yeah, although Toxic is doing a good job of staying up in CS, but Sickly does have this wave, which he's going to be able to get most of them. Hopefully, if he doesn't mess up all of those.
He might have messed up some.
Yeah, just a little bit. But he is... Oh, nope, just going in for a little bit of a trade. So...
Just a little... Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just... Toxic's actually doing fairly well. Maybe he just didn't give him the benefit of the doubt after that first blood, but hopefully he can hold on pretty well.
Honestly, I'm just waiting for Icically to go in again and just get the full kill.
I think he's just waiting for Dainty Taco to come up. Honestly.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for Dainty Taco to hit 6, probably 6, and then just go in and full combo him.
I mean, as Zach at level 4, you should have enough CC with a Jax to take down any lane opponent. So.
Oh no, you're 100% right, but it just doesn't look like.
Oh, Sickly hits 6, is going in onto Toxic Pheasant again. Sickly flashing out of the wall from Yorick, and Yorick is able to actually just walk away. But it looks like he's staying for this. She probably shouldn't.
No, he shouldn't. He should back immediately. Like, that's a huge wave, but he should back immediately.
I mean, he does have Corruption Potion chugging and that Rejuve bead to give him a little bit of sustain. And we do see Gallywix is here. Jax is walking straight into it, though. He does sniff it out. Good flash stun coming out from the Poppy. Another flash. Toxic Pheasant getting the Q down. Smash Sickly in the face. Gets that kill. And just like that, the lane might be turned around for Toxic.
Yeah, it might actually be turned around, but we'll see how long that actually lasts. We'll see if this Poppy keeps coming top. Just to
Ooh,
never mind.
Not long at all. Although Toxic ends up using the Maiden, Isically just goes in on him though.
Yeah, that's bye.
That was so greedy. Toxic walks back through lane after the Jax backs off. Probably should have just, went somewhere else so he lived. Going down Lit River or something, but unfortunately for him.
Let's wait. This bot lane is being a sore spot in Air Drake, though.
Yeah, the Zac is here. The stun comes down. Spell Shield from Quaz stops it, though. And we do see Zac just clearing out this pink ward. Doesn't want to go in.
There's actually a minion lead for the cracked variety over Quaz, but it just seems like they keep getting shoved in now.
I mean, again, it was that level 1. You failed to do any damage to the Sivir. So she's able to just shove out. But Cop is going in. Dainty Taco over the wall. But Galliwix is here, is able to turn the fight. A lot of damage coming down. Taco is super low. Crack Variety is low. The Zac passive is going to be popped. And who are they going to give the kill to? Doesn't look like it's teleport up. And Sivir ends up taking out Dainty Taco. Kill coming down for Quaz.
Yeah, that was really good counterbank timing from Galliwix there.
Yeah, super smart. And now it looks like they're going back in. Braum is there. Sorry, Toxic Vezin ends up going down, but Galliwix going in, gets the ultimate up, but this Ignite is down, and Cop ends up coming up with that kill. So 1-for-1 trade there. And in the top lane, it's Sickly just...
Overall, a 2-for-1 trade because top lane,
yeah,
Jax just kills off the Yorick.
And Jax is going to be able to do work on this turret. Yorick does have TP up and can get back there in time, but it looks like he's saving it for now. Ooh, Gulen ends up getting caught out by Timberland and Quaz. And if you're a Murkwolves fan, once again, seeing this bot lane get ahead is very, very good for you. But will they be able to stem off this Jax?
What? Why was he there? There was no reason for him to be there at all. He just walks up, and then they just walk back, see him trying to kill Ward, and they walk up and kill him. Like, that made no sense.
Yeah, there's maybe a little miscommunication coming out on the side of Air Drake. Cop in the crack variety might not have told him he was missing from lane.
Yeah.
But the Sivir, it looks like going for the IE build first.
This Shadow of Old is doing some work mid though. He's a few CS up on Golan, but it just every time you see a trade, you just see it pretty much going in Shadow of Old's favor. As I say that, I need to bite my words though.
And so Air Drake actually makes a really good call. They know that the bot lane from Murkwolves backed, so they went straight in to take the dragon and get that Air Drake for themselves, which is going to be really, really good for the Jack split push. Meanwhile, we do see Galliwix just soloing out this Rift Herald. He's been doing that quite a lot, using the top lane pressure that York somehow built up against this Jax.
Even though every time we see the York, he's pretty much dead. Shadow of Old did pop ult though, and he's just...
Oh no! That's so sad. Timberland though, ult's down, gets Gulen with that. What a fast Braum coming out with that Sivir ultimate.
But I don't think it was worth actually burning the ult. Especially giving it to Timberland in that situation.
I honestly think it is. Timberland gets the kill, but they're able to get a lot of damage down on this mid lane turret. And Dainty Taco is super low, gets killed by Quaz. Poppy ultimate, Nog's crack variety way out. So this mid lane turret is just going to go down pretty much for free.
Yeah, it was going to go down, but I think Dainty Taco lost his mind during that trade.
Yeah, it seemed a little
just-
disrespectful staying up that far. And Crack Variety now in a bad spot is able to get under the turret. Quaz picks that up with the bouncing blades. But now Gallywix is on the wrong side of the turret. But Timberland is around. And the support from Quaz and Timberland is able to get him out of that sticky spot. And to get themselves a blue buff for their troubles.
It honestly seems worse for Team Air Drake this time, just because the top lane is going in their favor, heavily in their favor, but the rest of the map is just crumbling all over the place. Nico's 0-3, 0-3-1, and you got the bot lane going. Their Lucian's 0-2, and their Leona's. She's got a kill, but Sivir's got 4 kills.
Yeah, and it's what we were saying before the first game, right? Quaz needed to step up, and he absolutely is right now. The Jinx last game was really mediocre in the early game, but ended up picking up a lot of kills later on and doing so much damage. But now the Sivir is just absolutely unstoppable.
It's demolishing, and not only that, but Shadow of Old also, like, he stepped up last game, but he stepped it up more this game. Like, he's honestly just like, he's like, I didn't know what Nico did, and that's why I lost. I'm like, okay, but you don't know the matchup, so you might lose again. And he's like, nope, you're just wrong. I'm gonna win. I'm Shadow of Old.
It's like, nah, man, I got this. You guys, trust me. I understand the champ now.
Yeah, it's fine. Just let him have it.
And speaking of him, he's roaming down to bot lane, flanking behind Crack Variety and Cop. Is not spotted on any wards, but just gives away his presence by clearing out this pink that wasn't in the bush. And now Gulen is here as well. Good stun coming out from Cop, but he takes the blast gun and is able to get out. Sivir ult coming down though. Timberland and Quaz pushing up, but it's a 3v3 failed flash from Gulen. Doesn't get the ultimate on. Timberland is stunned up. Zach is coming in. Quaz is going to give this shutdown over to the Lucian, and that is a lot of gold coming down. Shadow of Old, trying to run away with his life, is in a 3v1 sticky spot right now and doesn't have anywhere to go.
He's dead to rights.
Yeah.
There's no way out of this. He's gonna die. And nope, he can't even get a counter kill. As soon as I say anything or praise anyone, it's always the caster curse. They always end up dying or losing their mind and doing some dumb thing. I should just stop talking. I feel bad for these teams now. I'm just cursing all over the place.
That's all right. That's your job, right?
Yeah, it is my job. And but with that honestly put their bot lane back in the game. And
yeah, those were huge shutdowns going over onto Lucian. And now we actually see he's only 1,000 gold behind the Sivir. I mean, it's still a 1-4 Sivir, so you're gonna expect a little bit of deficit. But it's and we see Quaz just going in. Cop gets the ultimate death, but good spell shield from Quaz keeping that out. But now his Sickly is onto him. Good Poppy W coming out to stop his Sickly from jumping in. Teleport from Toxic Pheasant ends up coming in for that kill. And now we see a fake Dainty Taco, that Nico clone, screwing everybody up. But gives them so much pressure onto the spot lane turret, they're just going to get it for free.
Yeah, honestly, I think the call was we can fight, we can fight, we can fight, we can do this, we can win. And honestly, I think Icicle just should have backed off as soon as he saw the play that nobody else could follow up.
Well, the issue was Airdrake made a call to go in, right? They said, all right, we have teleport, we have Cop, let's do this, we can get a lot of CC, but never mind, we have a fight going down. Gulen's caught out, is absolutely dead. The Sivir ultimate gives him so much move speed. But as I was saying, they made a call to go in when Dainty Taco was nowhere around. Like, that's your main engage tool other than the Leona. So, you make a call, and immediately it gets turned around at you because it's a 4v5 when you go in.
Yeah, and that's the issue. It seems like their communication's really disjointed, and they're not all on the same pages. It seems like someone will make a call to go in, like Cop will make a call, or Dainty or Taco will make a call, and then just they not every bit of the pieces are right in place at the right time, so they just keep getting caught out and getting put in these bad situations.
Right. And I think their issue is they're making the call at the wrong time too. Because they say go in, and everybody follows up, everybody goes in, but you still just, it's not the right call. Like, Zach can't go in if he's not there. So you're just making the wrong call. And that's just I don't even know, a systemic sort of thing that you have to try to fix in these games.
Also, I don't think making the calls for everybody to go top lane just to clear a tower was the right. It's just miscommunication and bad shot calling all around from Air Drake.
Well, I mean, they have Nico in the bot lanes preventing the Swain from getting the turret. So at least they were able to get a little bit of gold for themselves.
No, they definitely could. But what I'm saying is, if they would have just let the Jax top and then just let him just take down that turret, it would have been completely fine. But now they might just lose top tower for this, and they do.
Yeah, and something we didn't actually talk about is in the last game, the Udyr was the one that had to kind of split push against the Jax, and he would lose that matchup. But now you have the Swain, who might lose the matchup or win it. We don't know yet. The ultimate doesn't end up popping, and Isikli takes down Shadow of Old right there. And now Toxic Vezin finds himself in a bad spot. Gets a good flash away from the Leona ultimate, but Toxic doesn't look like he's able to get the last part of the Q, and that's a lot of roots coming down. And so he's able to, Air Drake's able to pick that up, but they sent 4 members for that. And so Murkwolves decide just to push in mid, and they probably can get this turret.
I don't think they're gonna have enough time to actually get it.
They can suicide for it.
Yep, they can suicide for it, but
oh, the Poppy ultimate hitting Jax out of the leap strike. That was pretty great from Gallywix.
that was pretty dirty. I'm not gonna lie.
That was great.
That was a nice prediction on Gallywix, and there's no way around it. And that was a really good call by Merc, just to say, you know what, we lost bot, we lost mid. I mean top. Let's just push mid. They don't have anybody that can defend. So great call by them, and great recognizing that opportunity.
Yeah, and Air Drake seems to be trying to make these all-in calls, like, hey, let's send 4 up, we're gonna get this guy. And they're just kind of slowing down the game and getting little advantages for themselves. But at the same time, you're going against a Sivir who's going to be 6 items in about 35 minutes, so you're not going to have the late game.
Yeah, she's gonna be absolutely massive, and once 600.
Oh, fight going off in the mid lane. Timberland in a bad spot. Cop just walked up through the Zenith blade. Good ultimate come down, but miscommunication. Oh, the Zac ult takes him out of Gulen's ult, but they're able to pick up the Braum anyways. Gallywix ends up being able to flash out, and that's only a 1 kill for Team Air Drake. In the meantime,
you hate to see it, but this is the stuff I've been saying the entire time. It's just miscommunication all over the board, and it's costing them.
Yeah, but
at top lane, they're
able to pick up the turret, though Toxic was able to get the turret in top lane. And it looks like Shadow Vol is going to be teleporting in, and the Leona's just in a really bad spot, is going down. Shadow Vol showing his presence, flashes in, gets the crack variety, ultimate kills him. Dainty Taco's now in a bad spot. He's going to pop the Bloblets, coming out, and they're probably going to give the kill over to Quaz. And Quaz on a killing spree, 7-1-6 on this Sivir. And what a great teleport coming out from Shadow Vol right there. Catching Air Drake with their pants down once again. And now this just gives them leave to shove in this open mid lane turret and grab the inhibitor.
They've got an open inhib mid, and that thing's gone. And honestly, they should be turning towards Baron at this point.
I mean, you don't want to overstay. You just won a team fight. Your members are low. You don't have ultimates. You can't turn for Baron right away, but you do need to go there and set up vision. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a fight, though. Is Sickly going in onto Timberland, gets the Counter-Strike up, but the Braum passive just absolutely stuns him up. And he's in a CC chain he can't get out of. Silverroll comes down, and Crack Variety, that was an Eagle clone. I got messed up. Sorry about that.
Nope, that's perfectly fine. I think Murkwolves always get messed up by that.
And with that pick onto Sickly, once again, he goes in while the team doesn't. Just a little bit of miscommunication, and they end up picking up that dragon. Although it looks like Airdrake's making the call to go straight for this Baron. There's no vision from the side of... never mind. They're not going for it.
That would have been a little ballsy, but everyone on Murkwolves should be buying paints and then just going straight for that Baron and setting up vision there and getting that ready and prepped.
Yeah.
Except for Toxic, he should just keep pushing.
I think the call from Airdrake should have been go for that Baron right away. You saw him take Dragon. You knew they were going to back. You have to do something. Right?
Yeah,
you're just going to slowly lose this game to a Sivir Poppy Swain. You got to do something, and they're just not.
They're just bleeding out all over the map, and then when they try to do something, it's the wrong calls. They just keep losing all over the place.
We do see a Sickly putting a world of hurt down onto Toxic Resin. He's got 2 levels up, and if you're an Airdrake fan, Sickly's your golden goose right now. He's how you're going to win this game. We have a fight going down, though. Swain just going straight in. Crack Variety get taken down by the Boomerang Blade from over the wall. Poppy Ultimate knocks Zac away, and the Baron just gets secured for free. And oh my gosh, Shadow of Old with these Grassland dying, hitting everybody. And
He's
Leona
just demolishing the entire team.
And Leona just instantly dies to it. Shadow of Old playing out of his mind. Him and Quaz are destroying this game.
I like what Toxic's doing right now. He's just trying to delay his backs.
And I mean, Toxic, you can die right here. It doesn't matter. Your team just ended the game. And he's sitting inside the wall.
Does Icically not know that he can hit that and kill it? Or
I'm not sure. I'm sure he's aware of it, but it looks like we're just going for a last-minute fight here. Gulen getting a good ultimate off onto 3 people, but it's a valiant effort, but too little, too late. Jax jumps in, gets the 3-man Counter-Strike, but Quaz just has so much defensive tools on him. He Sickly gets the shutdown, but Gallywix and Shadow of Old just take down the Nexus, and that is a clean 2-0 coming out from Murkwolves over Airdrake.
yeah, you like seeing him bounce back from last week.
Yeah, 100%. That was explosive. Oh,
That
18 to 14 kills, 24-minute game.
honestly, I think the matchup in every time was decided by the jungle. Not only in like the champions they were playing, but the pressure that Gallywix was able to put out every time was incredible. He was where he needed to be when he needed to be, and he was doing exactly how he needed to do when he needed to do. Just it was a beautiful thing.
All right.
From that jungle play.
And with that, we are probably just going to try to grab in people to talk, do some interviews, probably grabbing 2 from Murkwolves. Who would you like to talk to for game 1?
Honestly, Shadow of Old.
Yeah.
Shadow of Old yeah, I think it's Shadow of Old and Gallywix for both of them. I'm not gonna lie.
I was honestly thinking maybe Quaz for game 2, but I would do Gallywix as well. That Poppy play was absolutely insane.
Yeah, there was some clutch moments where he had ultimates that just destroyed or put people in bad positions. It was a very good play from him.
All right, I'll see if I can go grab them, and we'll be right back with you guys.
Welcome, welcome.
Yo.
Yeah. Hello, Gallywix. Congratulations on your 2-0.
Thanks, man.
That was some amazing gameplay, not gonna lie.
I appreciate it.
So trying to see if Shadow of Old would like to join us, but it doesn't look like he's responding.
No, he had to bounce like right away.
Oh, okay, so we're just gonna go ahead with you then.
Okay.
Actually, well, we could grab Claws, but
Yeah, the other guy's wrong.
Okay, yeah. We'll see if they wanna jump in then. All right, never mind. Doesn't look like anyone's responding.
Okay, that's fine.
all
All
right.
right. So Gallywix, tell us a little bit about that first game. I mean, early on it seemed like that Jax was just going to get super, super scary and fed, and it looked like you were going to be the one guy that had to try to split push against him and, you know, stop that threat. What was your communication like with the rest of the team when Air Drake was kind of pushing down your mid lane turrets and you had to deal with the Jax?
I don't know. Our biggest concern, or at least my biggest concern, was keeping the Jax away from the team. And at least keeping our lanes pressured so that way he couldn't group. Because the couple times that he did group, it was just kind of a disaster. And so I just really wanted to keep him away from the team, and we were just kind of communicating. We wanted them to play back and play safe so that we couldn't get engaged on. We ended up pulling it together there. They played back and played safe, and just kind of splitted the whole game.
All right. What were your thoughts going into Champ Select against Air Drake? I mean, it looked like you were focusing on banning out the top lane.
Yeah. I know Shadow of Old, there was a couple picks that he did not want top lane getting, that were really good at diving Max. And like Tryndamere, Yasuo, and so we figured we could kind of let him have the Jax, and just hope that Max would just play safe, and I think he did a pretty decent job with that.
All right, cool. I gotta say, Max did a very good job. Or sorry, Toxic did a very good job of staying safe as well. But oh, never mind. It looks like Quaz is gonna be coming in to join us after all.
Yep.
Sweet.
I do have a question about the second game where you what was the call with allowing Max to play Yorick? Like I don't know, if it was me personally, I probably would have just put him on tank duty, but it seemed to work out really well in the end for you guys.
Well, basically, he, told us that he wanted to play Yorick, and that was a champion he was comfortable on, and we want him to play what he's going to be comfortable and good on, not necessarily what fits extremely the best with our team comp, because I think it's better with him to be on a comfortable champion than to be on somebody who's like fits in with this ultimate in our team comp that if he doesn't necessarily hit it or know exactly what to do because he hasn't practiced it, that wouldn't really work out well for us. So that was really the thought behind it.
Okay. I completely understand it. And Gallywix, just for people who don't know you, what's your thought process behind running instead of running Predator, running Electrocute on that Poppy in the second game?
Just kind of the early game damage helps out a little bit. Helps just kind of secure the kills a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really feel like I needed a lot of movement speed to get in there for the ganks that game. My biggest priority, besides ganking, wasn't really to run at the team. Was just kind of sit back and press W when they decided they wanted to engage.
Mm-hmm. And finally, it seemed like a couple times there was you guys could have been going more towards Baron, but it seemed like that early steal from Dainty Taco with the dragon in the first game kind of like put you guys off. Was that any issue, or were you just waiting for like this is 100%? We can take the Baron.
Quash, do you want to take that one or?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was more. We were just 100% wanting to
Okay.
have no contest on that. But other than that, I mean, I don't really know.
No, it's completely fine. But going for the high percent play every time is probably the right call, and probably a little better call. But it just seemed like sometimes there was different opportunities for you guys to go for it, and you're just waiting for that 100%. So I do respect it out of a analytical standpoint.
Yeah, we just really wanted to be sure that we weren't gonna throw based on a bad call or somebody getting a crazy steal, or we just wanted the 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so next week you end up actually having a bye, but the week after your opponents are Team Gromp. What do you think of them right now?
Haven't done too much research on them yet, personally. But with the bye week, we have a bunch of time to look into this week's games and last week's games and next week's games for them. So we'll get a read on them then.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of them play. Heard they got a nice support though. It's gonna be nice to see those two supports go at each other.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you. Congratulations on your 2-0. Thanks for playing.
Yeah,
thank
congratulations, guys. Good games.
All right, thanks guys, appreciate that.
No problem. And with that, we're going to sign off. Hope everybody out there watching the Rekt League has a very happy Monday night. And just remember to like, sub, and subscribe to the Rekt League on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever you want. And everybody have a good night.